It's Tuesday, the 16th of January, 2018, and welcome to Navigating Your Day. In Jinshin Jitsu, safety energy lock number 16 came into the universe meaning the basis for human activities. My understanding of it is it's the foundation, and safety energy lock number 16 is located on the outside of the ankle, right near the bottom of the foot, right? So it's near the foundation. It is a safety energy lock that breaks down the old in order to make space for the new. That's my understanding of it in any case. So 16 allows us to connect. When we connect to the energy of safety energy lock number 16, it helps us to break down old forms in order to make way for new forms. And this can be anything. It can be old forms of conducting relationships. It can be old forms of treating ourselves. It can be old forms of punishing ourselves. It can be old forms of punishing others. It can be hanging on to old things that scar, wounds that have left scars, and allow, when we hang on to we scar, right? And that's okay. But scars, we can move with scars. They soften, we get used to them, they fade, they get older, they become more flexible. So this particular energy of today helps us to connect with those old wounds and scars, break them down so that they can make room for something more flexible, more expansive, something new. 16 is a 7. And 7 is a number that's associated with spirituality. It's associated with a resonance with that which is bigger than we are. So whether we call it God, whether we call it the universe, whether we call it the source energy, whether we call it the vortex, 7 helps us connect to that part of ourselves that is bigger than just this physical existence. And that is the energy that we can connect with today. 7s also is not about taking the well-beaten path. 7 is about taking the road less traveled. So you can see a 16 helps us to break down old forms so that we can actually choose a new way, a new path, the less traveled way. So we might, in doing this, in breaking up these old forms, we may have to, we may end up disappointing some people. We may end up losing some people along the way because they prefer to go along the more well-trodden path. That's not a good or a bad thing. It just is, right? It's a choice. So today we have the choice to choose a different way, a different road. Maybe we can say, hey, I wonder what it's like down here. Carolyn Mace had a quote once where she said, if you are presented in life with two paths, choose the one that looks the most scary and the most frightening, because that's the path where you'll find God. Now, sorry, I completely mangled that quote. She didn't quite say that, but that was my understanding, okay? And so that resonates with me, because when you choose the road that seemingly looks not necessarily more difficult, but just unknown, maybe a bit more scary, maybe not quite so populated, maybe not quite so smooth, maybe not like a 6-lane freeway, then you are embracing the challenge. And when you embrace the challenge of that newness, because as we know, everything is always balanced, the support has to be there. So the universe generally sends the support, and the support becomes more obvious to you. And when you travel that road, then you find parts of yourself that you didn't know you had. Human beings are capable of so much more than we know or believe. So today we can really connect to that energy. Oh, I've gone way off. 7 is very private. 7s don't like to have their business interfered into. 7s love to be out and about, but they also need time to be quiet and to regroup. So create some space for yourself today so that you can actually just withdraw, even if it's 5 minutes at a time, okay? It's really important, because otherwise what ends up happening is you become overwhelmed, you feel really stressed, you lose your connection to that source energy, and then very often you lose more than your connection. In my case, yes, you lose, you know what I mean, right? So the 1 energy of January is more like, look at me, here I am, I'm radiating. The 7 energy is more, I don't need to radiate it outwardly, I'm turning it inward. So we might have some tension today between expressing ourselves out in the world and wanting to be out there and wanting to be social, and actually the 7 wanting to introvert and wanting to be alone. If you can manage both, and if you know that both exist, you can actually allow yourself to have some out and aboutness and some insight, some introspection. The 2 from 2018 is allowing us to see the balance and to appreciate that support and challenge always comes together in a package, remember, and that self-nurture is just as important as other nurture. In fact, if you can't nurture yourself, then you limit your ability to nurture those that you love. The hero of today is 7 1 is a 1. And so that hero position, the 1 in the hero position, is about accessing your inner leader. It's about being able to say, no, I don't want to do that. I actually want to be alone. I don't want to socialize. You know, I know I said I'd go to this party, but actually I don't want to do that because it doesn't serve me. So 1 is very much attuned to their own needs. And so 1 in this particular area, in the hero position, helps us connect to our true self-worth, not egotistical, game-playing, pretending self-worth, our true self-worth. And when we value ourselves, then we find it easy to do what is important to us. The villain of today is the 8. Now, how's this? We have all this like self-worth in the hero position, and then the villain in the 8, the 8 in the villain position lacks boundaries. And that lack of boundaries gets translated into an inability to say no. So when that happens, when you can't say no and you keep on doing what you don't want to do, or you really want, you're expected to really extrovert today and your boundaries are not intact, and so you don't create the space for yourself, then the 7 becomes overwhelmed, you lose your connection to who you really are, and then generally things go a bit pear-shaped. Safety energy lock number 16, I just have to look in my notes here. Where is it? Safety energy lock number 16 is located on the thumb. And when we hold our thumb, we harmonize the attitude of worry and anxiety. Remember, we harmonize our digestive function, we harmonize the function between thinking and feeling, and we bring those 2 together so that the action that we take can be the right action for us. And as I said, we calm the nervous system down. So hold your thumb, you'll balance your digestion, you'll digest the world in a much better way, and hopefully you'll navigate your day more smoothly. I'll speak to you again tomorrow.